is what does our plan need to be then? So if the last time we met, we had what do you want people to see in church versus the church. What does our plan need to be? What does this look like to change the view? What are the actions we need to take? How can we bring about a clear and accurate view of the church?
The first thing is, what does that mean for us? Like, what does our plan need to be to get some of those things in motion and to cause the change where the world starts seeing that?
It all starts with ourselves, we can't, it's kind of, I guess this kind of goes along with the, not feeding hypocrisy thing, but like, just practice what you preach in yourself before you tell others to do it, because like we can't make a difference outside of ourselves until we make a difference in our personal lives.
Don't ask anybody else to do something that you're not willing to do. Personal responsibility and accountability. And I think it's really easy to say, what should the church be doing? Well, if we're part of the church, we need to ask, what should I be doing?
Just practicing, like you guys said, in our daily life, just loving God. That love translates to living a better life, because if you love someone, you live for them. And as that love translates to you living a better life, you're automatically showing people what we want them to see. So just even working on our love for God.
To show them Christ and point them to God. And then at that point, God is going to work in their lives, and we can be there alongside to minister and to witness and those things. But there's a certain order to that. I think that a lot of times, we do tend to kind of separate ourselves and act like all high and mighty, when in reality, we're all people who have lived in sin at one point or another, who come to know the love of God, and our first priority should be show the people around us God's love, and then allow Him to do the work.
A lot of times Christians, they do tell the truth to the world, but they tell it in the wrong order. It's like they go and they'll confront people with the truth of the fact that they're sinners and they are on their way to hell, right? Which, you wouldn't necessarily be saying that falsely, but that's not the order you should do it. You should show them the truth of Christ and the truth of what He did for them and the truth of what is right and what is wrong. And then Christ can lead them to that.
Where's your starting point? Your starting point, you have to build that relationship with them, have that discussion with them, and know what they believe. You have to listen before speaking, so that way you can know what it is that they believe.
Relationships with people is kind of like a skip that too many of us, or a step that too many of us skip over, is what I was trying to say. Sometimes just giving,
it's number one.
Being completely non-judgmental and just having friendly conversation with another person, and just getting to know them and letting them get to know you is kind of it's a key part. You have to, they're not going to take you as a reliable source if you're just some person spouting off stuff that just sounds like nonsense.
Yeah. Say that you're a Christian without saying that you're a Christian. If you live that in front of them, and then when they find out after they get to know you, dude, this guy's really nice. I've never met someone who's so caring and loving and forgiving. And then finding out, oh wait, you're a Christian? And then, wow, it's like a light bulb moment that it just a revelation to them that not all Christians are hateful bigots.
But I think how the community views you, and especially in today's culture, matters. And whether we like it or not, the minute someone walks through the door, they're going to have preconceived notions about who we are because Baptist is in the name. And I think that people walking through the door or that people won't even walk through the door if they've got preconceived notions of how we're going to treat people. I'm just saying something that's not just strictly behavioral, because a lot of the things that we can do, if we would just place importance on the things that really matter, the entire church would be different.
So meeting needs, you're talking about, we talk about spiritual, but you're also talking about clothes, you're talking about food.
It's definitely the easiest way to get a hold of somebody, though. When you can actually provide something they really, really, really need.
Because sometimes they don't see the spiritual need yet, because it's hard sometimes to see that when you're so caught up